The air hummed with the quiet thrum of sophisticated machinery within the Coral Research Station. The annual oceanographic gala was in full swing, a glittering affair where scientists and investors mingled beneath the gentle glow of bioluminescent coral displays. Days before, Lisanne Novak, a leading marine biologist, had discovered a series of encrypted emails on her husband's tablet, revealing a clandestine affair with Zafira Chengeri, a rival researcher. The evidence, a detailed timeline of stolen research, had shattered her world. Later, in the station's hydroponics lab, Thalassa Orlova, a junior technician, had overheard a heated argument between Lisanne and her husband, Jorund Alfarsi. Lisanne's voice, tight with fury, accused Jorund of betrayal, while his pleas for forgiveness were met with cold silence. In a darkened corner, a figure, Vanya Vega Storm, a competitor vying for the same research grant, watched the scene with a predatory gleam in her eyes. That evening, Jorund and Zafira met in the station's subaquatic observation deck. They spoke in hushed tones, their words barely audible above the gentle bubbling of the water. Zafira, her face etched with a mixture of excitement and fear, clutched a small, intricate device. Jorund's hand rested on hers, their fingers intertwined as they finalized their plan. Meanwhile, Vanya, feigning a need for solitude, was seen meticulously calibrating the pressure gauges on a spare diving suit, a task usually handled by technicians. Lisanne, in her final moments, prepared for her nightly ritual, a deep dive in the station's experimental submersible to monitor the coral's growth. As she sealed her diving suit, she was unaware of the impending doom. The dive log recorded her departure, the submersible descending into the inky blackness. The next morning, Isolde Zhang Wei, a maintenance worker, found Lisanne's body floating near the station's main intake. The submersible, seemingly intact, was anchored to a nearby support structure. The paradoxical detail, Lisanne, a meticulous scientist, was not wearing her emergency oxygen tank, a deviation from her established safety protocol. Detective Aaron Ishikawa arrived, the air thick with unspoken grief. The physical evidence revealed an anomaly. The diving suit's pressure regulator was tampered with, the internal seals deliberately compromised. Digital records showed that Jorund had accessed the station's diving suit maintenance logs at an unusual hour, hours before Lisanne's fatal dive. Furthermore, Lisanne's final log entry had a strange deletion, a note about a malfunction in her suit's internal systems. Aaron interviewed the suspects. Jorund, his face stained with tears, provided a tearful alibi, claiming he'd been working late on his own research. However, his access card records showed he'd been in the station's central control room during the critical time window, a logical gap in his story. Zafira offered a defensive denial, her hands fidgeting constantly, a nervous tell that hinted at her involvement. Vanya, in a gloating tone, accused Jorund, suggesting he was the obvious suspect due to the affair. However, her access records showed she was on a different sector during the critical time frame. Cross-verifying the alibis, Aaron found a critical contradiction. Jorund's claim of working late was directly contradicted by security footage showing him near the diving suit maintenance bay, hours before Lisanne's scheduled dive. The tampered pressure regulator and the absence of the emergency oxygen tank, combined with the knowledge of Lisanne's habits, provided the key. Aaron reconstructed the crime. Jorund, exploiting his knowledge of Lisanne's routine and fueled by the desire to hide the stolen patent, had sabotaged her diving suit. The critical alibi contradiction, along with the physical evidence of the tampered regulator, linked him directly to the events of the gala and the Prelude's hidden affair, sealing his guilt.